What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hartson. Today I'll be breaking down the NFL Sunday slates we have here for tomorrow. 10 games for the NFL Sunday main slates here on DraftKings. $1 million to first place as usual. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Hart. I make daily slate breakdowns for the NFL and NBA on DraftKings. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. I'll be going over my favorite spin-up plays, mid-range options, and some value plays for this NFL Sunday slate tomorrow. Make sure to check out my free Patreon. I'll write up down below for the Sunday slate tomorrow. And yeah, let's get into the slate breakdown. As always, guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter at HartDFS. I'll answer any questions you guys have. I'll put up NFL write-up for tonight or tomorrow for the Sunday slate. I always have my NBA write-ups up where I go over my favorite core plays, value plays, building blocks, all that good stuff, injury news. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. Once again, the write-ups are 100% free on my Patreon. And then look back, I forgot to enter into the Millie Maker last weekend. Kind of frustrating on my part. Woke up super late and completely forgot to enter. But yeah, I was able to enter into the afternoon only. Did very well. Top 0.5%. Got 291 out of 38,000 people who enter into this. Frustrating because Hurst got injured. I think in the first or second quarter, so he didn't do anything the rest of the game. But yeah. Still turned $15 into 60, so a little over four times my money. So yeah, it was very, very solid. Looking to continue that momentum into this weekend. So for the slate, obviously we have 10 games, a lot of good game environments for the quarterback situation. We have 3 pay-up options that you can get up to if you want to. I don't think I'm going to do it, but Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, even though they're all playing pretty decent or good defenses, you can still get to them. They're all playing at MVP level. We know Holmes against good defense, even the Rams, 22.4. Where else? Titans usually pretty good defense, 38.14 in only a 20-point game. Who else we got here? San Fran the week prior, 30.92. So we know Mahomes is pretty matchup proof. He looks great. He'd probably be my favorite of the 3, followed by Josh Allen, probably slightly behind, but we know he's massive upside, running and throwing the ball. He put up 26.8 on the Jets a couple weeks ago. So yeah, those 2 would be my favorite plays out of the top 3. Hurts, we know he has upside. He's been great the past few games as well. I think I'm going to stick, though, in the mid-range. Love me Joe Burrow coming off that big game versus the Chiefs. I think I'm going to run it back with him there. I do like Dak Prescott a good amount. He should have lower ownership. They're expected to absolutely blow out the Houston team, and that's kind of what they've done the past few games. Their defense has really carried them to the wins, and it's really made it so Dak really hasn't had to throw the ball a ton. I mean, he's gotten multiple touchdowns in the past 4 weeks straight, but it's just the passing yards. He really hasn't had the need to get up to 300 passing yards and get that point bonus on DraftKings. So it's kind of limited him there. They're also very good at running the ball. So yeah, it's kind of limited Dak's ceiling, but he does have a massive ceiling. I do like taking a shot on him still. So even though I like going with Joe Burrow for this video, I'm still going to consider starting with Dak and going from there. But yeah, I really like those 2. Watson is, I think, a solid tournament option, even though he was a complete letdown in his first game last week. Still has that upside. Geno Smith, another good option. They don't have a running game right now, so you can definitely look to him. He's been great the past 2. Kirk Cousins going against that Detroit defense, he's upside there. Goff is, the opposite play there. I do like taking a shot. I like grouping in Tom Brady with Deshaun Watson as a tournament contrarian play option. He has been great this year. Only thrown through 3 touchdowns 1 time. We know it's a tough matchup going against San Fran, but they don't have a good quarterback, so this game should stay close. Or maybe it's one of those games where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally click. We'll have to see. But yeah, I like taking a shot on Brady. Mike White versus Buffalo, not the best matchup as well, but he's been solid. Should throw the ball a ton, especially if they're down, which they should be. Huntley, another guy you could take a shot on, has that rushing ability and upside as we saw versus Denver, 10 for 41 and a touchdown. He will throw the ball a good amount too. And then that's pretty much it for the quarterback situation. As I said, good amount of guys in the mid-range and below that you can take a shot on that do have enough upside to do well enough for a tournament setting. For the running back situation, you can pay up for these studs. CMC looks solid. Barkley looks solid. Henley and Chubb look great. Even Dalvin Cook look great. And then it kind of drops off from there to guys like Mixon. He's going to see probably 20 combined total touches, if not more. He does get a good amount of dump offs. But yeah, he's just there versus a Cleveland team for me. Rather get to the pass catchers. Walker is questionable. That's, I guess, big news for the running back situation in Seattle. I don't think if he's out or even if he's in, it does kind of scare me if he's going to be in at 6,800. Maybe it's going to hinder him a little bit. But yeah, I'd rather pay down for a guy like Tony Pollard or Zeke for my first running back situation spot. I prefer getting to Zeke just because he'll probably have lower ownership. 6,100, a little bit cheaper as well. We know Pollard's the better back, the more explosive back. Should see a few more touches out of the backfield when it comes to catching the ball. But I do like Zeke. He does have enough upside. If he's going to get close to 20 fantasy points, even 15, I'd take that from him at 6,100. So I do really like him in a game that should be easily handled, and they're going to run the ball a ton. Below that, not a lot I like in this range. You can always go to Dameon Pierce, who's going to see the touches. He hasn't been great recently. I love DeAndre Swift here at 5,800. Jamal Williams does get a good amount of red zone looks, but Swift is going to be that guy in the most likely game where they're down big or down a few scores at least, that he's going to see all the targets. He's the best when it comes to catching the ball. Jamal Williams does not have a single catch on the season. He also saw 14 rushing attempts against Jacksonville. Yeah, the game was out of hand, so maybe they spelled Jamal Williams a little bit, but really like direction. They're finally going to Swift. I've been on him the past few weeks. Finally worked out last week. I'm assuming he's going to be popular this weekend, unfortunately. But yeah, really, really like him in that spot. And then from there, there's not a ton of, plays I really like. I do think, a guy like Pacheco's viable. Really, let me go back on that. There is a good amount I do like in this 5K range, in the 6Ks, so I don't think it's necessary to get up to those studs at the 7, 8, 9K range for running back situation, because we got guys like Pacheco, Fournette, White. Even though Leonard and Wright are splitting, they're both getting enough touches out of the backfield, especially in the passing game, to be viable. Foreman going against Seattle looks great. He will see 20 plus touches most likely against a very bad rush defense. And then from there, not a lot I like until we get to a guy like James Cook, 4,600. Kind of the feature back as we saw versus New England, 14 for 64. Also did see 6 targets, 5 plus the past 2 games for them. So I do like riding him there because it looks like they're trying to make him the number 1 running back in Buffalo. And then moving on to the wide receiver situation. We know what we're getting from the top guys, all 3 of them. If I prefer to get to one, it'd be Stephon Diggs. Love pairing Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow. That goes without question. St. Brown has been fantastic the past 2 games. 10, 12 targets, caught 9, caught 11, 30.9, and 37.6. So yeah, going against Minnesota defense gives up a ton of points. Do like him there. CeeDee Lamb, he's been solid. It's just, doesn't help that they've been blowing teams out with their defense, so they really haven't had to throw the ball a ton, but he looks good as a spend up. DK, he's been great this season. Past 2 games, he's been great. Is questionable, so to keep an eye out on that. Who else we got here? Godwin, another guy who's been seeing just a massive amount of targets. But I do like getting into Mike Evans. He's been very, very quiet the past 4 weeks, and pretty much this whole season. He's had 1 game above 20 fans, 2 games above 20. But pretty much just 1 big game, and that's it. He's been injured. The team hasn't looked great, but we know we're getting from Mike Evans. Do like taking a shot on him this weekend. But yeah, there's a ton of guys to like in this 5 to 7K range. That's why I don't really think it's a need to spend up to the top wide receivers if you don't have to. Who else we got here? Wilson has been, he's going to be a very popular bring back against Buffalo. 8 and 15 targets, 5,900. He's a little bit too cheap there. I do like DJ Moore going against Seattle. He has Sam Darnold back. We know the chemistry is there. Sam Darnold's going to look to get him involved. So I do like DJ Moore, a good amount at 5,500 as a piece, who's very cheap going against a team that does give up a good amount of points. And that's going to do it for the wide receiver situation. As I said, there's a ton of plays to like. I do like Cooper as a bring back here for this spot. Moving on to the tight end situation, we know we're going to get from Kelsey's Andrews. More of a tournament option. Did see 7 targets, but obviously with Tyler Huntley throwing him the ball, he hasn't been great. Injuries. Lamar Jackson hasn't been great. So yeah, Andrews at that price tag is a little risky. You'd rather pay for Kelsey or just pay down. Hockenson, he's seen a good amount of targets recently, but I think for the situation for the tight end, I'm going to go to most likely. Where is he? Where did he go? Probably going to be a Cade Otton or Okonkwo. He's been popular. He'll probably be popular because he's breaking off huge plays for this Tennessee team. I know they're not going to throw the ball a ton. They're going to ride Derrick Henry, but he does have that big play upside. But I do like just the amount of targets Cade Otton's going to see from Todd Brady. Even with Brate back, I do think Cade Otton's done enough to kind of solidify himself a role. And then for defense situation here, the best option is usually to pay down for guys. You could pay up for the Cowboys if you want 3,800. They do get a ton of pressures and sacks. I don't think it's a need. Obviously, there is really no correlation between expensive defense and how well they're going to do. As we know, it's all pretty random with the NFL. So usually it's better just to take a cheaper defense and then allow you more salary to get to a better play. Let's see here. For defense, we're just going to go to we'll just go with the Panthers for now. They've actually been decent this season, 10, 9, 11. Those games 16, 9. So yeah, can't complain about them going against Seattle there. And then for the flex spot, we are left with 6,500 left over. We can get to Tyler Lockett. It does seem negative EV to do a Lockett versus your defense, but that's a play you could definitely do. Mike Evans is there, as I mentioned. There's a good amount of options in the 6K range that you can get to, like a Garrett Wilson. We'll just throw a Garrett Wilson in there for now, and that kind of rounds out the lineup. We have the Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase play, and then we have the bring back with Amari Cooper. We have Zeke going against Houston, Swift going against Detroit. We have DJ Moore and the Panthers D going against Seattle, and then we have Cade Otton and Garrett Wilson. So yeah, I actually do really like that lineup. Not saying you guys have to play it or should play it, because obviously, there's a lot better plays or different routes you can go. But yeah, that's the lineup for tomorrow, kind of the slate breakdown. And if you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn that notification bell. I'm going to enter this in, see if it actually does anything tomorrow, but I will probably make my own lineup based off of kind of the plays I've given and kind of other plays I like and go from there. But yeah, if you guys like the video, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.